Welcome out, gamers and gamettes, to this RGL.gg Invite Highlander playoffs match. It's that time of the year. We have made it into the postseason. We are coming at you with Man Crush Monday versus Somebody Help, the Invite 2 versus 3 seed. I am Alto, joined by Zag to my side. Dolphin behind the camera as always. Zag, how you doing tonight?
Doing pretty good as usual on this fine Monday night. We are into these playoffs, these postseason matches that everyone so much loves to come across. And tonight we have a match that could be close and also could not be. Man Crush Monday versus Somebody Help, 2 versus 3 seed here. Both of them have a 5-2 regular season record, although Man Crush Monday had almost 4 match points, which is a full match plus 1 extra point on the board. So they will be our favorites here tonight. They also demolished Somebody Help in the regular season on Swiftwater. I believe that was week 3 or 4, something along that. But that same situation will not arise because we do have a Swiftwater ban tonight. But yeah, we'll get into that in just a second.
Yeah, I would take if I was Somebody Help, I'd take a little bit of offense to the claim demolished. One of those halves was frustratingly close, I'd say, for both teams. But I think that, as you said, MCM is definitely the favorite coming into this. They did have a bit of a hiccup that maybe painted them a little bit more mortal than to be expected in week 5 on Upward when they took a surprise 2-1 loss to the Amigos dos Amigos. But just as Somebody Helped ban Swiftwater, that they lost to MCM on, MCM then proceeded to ban Upwards themselves. So the maps for this BO3 are going to be Asheville, Cascade, and Vigil in that order.
Yeah, we're double Koth and then stopwatch here. Interesting that we did see Somebody Help go for the Koth Cascade pick. Steel was left on the board throughout this entire thing, did not get picked by them. And obviously, when given the deciding pick, MCM will not pick Steel over Vigil. So like Somebody Help could have gone for that. They chose Cascade instead. That's going to be the wildcard map we're looking out here. First up, though, is going to be Asheville. More traditional Koth map. Everyone's favorite Koth map. It better be. It's my favorite Koth map, so it should be yours too.
As long as your favorite Koth map isn't product, we're good. No, I think, though, the main thing to really talk about here is that Cascade pick by Somebody Help. Zach and I have said it every time we casted them. You know, they used to be known as the Chill Penguins back in UGC, or they've got some returning players. To call it the same team wouldn't exactly be fair, but similar returning players, similar group, and they were known as heavy stopwatch players. And I think we saw that in week 7 on CP Steel, where they just performed really well. You know, Steel is always the map that if you had to put money on, you would guess this team would pick, and yet they come up with Cascade, which is just really surprising because it clearly speaks to some insight that Somebody Help has that we don't. Right? Whether or not it's a strength on their end or a weakness on MCM's, if they win on it, it's going to be a 200 IQ move. If they don't, it's going to be a 20 IQ.
Yeah, and even if they do end up losing on it, that's what they think their best chances here. And keep in mind, we are double elimination in these playoffs. So even if Somebody Help does go down here as the expected underdogs, they will have another shot if they're able to take the third, fourth place match underneath. And keep in mind, simultaneously tonight, we're going to be having the first and fourth seed matchup going on between that's Yi fourth seed and Wish Mode first seed. We're heavily expecting Wish Mode to take that one, as I'm sure most of you are as well. We'll see if we can keep you updated. That match is probably going to end before this one if we had to take bets, so we'll see how that one goes. But in the meantime, we can go ahead and run down the rosters real quick. Going to be seeing who's going to be taking the field on these maps tonight.
Yep, on the side of Somebody Help, we will have Emily on Scout, who has been absolutely phenomenal in all the games we've seen her play, and definitely going to be a player to watch on Asheville. Sunny on Soldier, American on Pyro, May on Demoman, Caboose on Heavy, Wymeo on Engineer, Fleeble on Medic, Timeless on Sniper, and Hino on Spy.
And on Man Crush Monday's side, we're going to be having Weil on Scout, Etney on Soldier, TK on Pyro, Exile on Demo, Sand on Heavy, Spamfest on Engineer, Casper on Medic, Watson on Sniper, Watterson on Sniper, and Evil on Spy.
I am admittedly, I know we've been talking about Cascade a lot. I'm also a little bit, doubting the Asheville pick out of MCM. Granted, Somebody Help did have they won their regular season match on it, but it was a very close 4-3 back in week 1 against Yi. But when I look at these rosters and when I look at, some of the differences that showed up when MCM lost to Amigos on Upward, there was a sniper diff where Mujet really popped off. Granted, that's not going to be too much of an issue on Nashville, but there was a bit of a scout diff, and payload scout be what it may, but when I think about somebody help on COT this season, Emily's the first person I'm thinking to. She's pulled off incredible KDs and has consistently been playing really, really well compared to an MCM roster where while, he of the top 4 at least invite sniper main is making his what I believe is a debut on Scout this season. And I don't think Wiles performed to the same caliber we've seen Emily perform this season. And that's kind of going to be what I'm going to be mainly looking at on Nashville is that Scout matchup.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. Emily has been a standout player for Somebody Help all season. Every match we cast them, it seems that Emily has massively positive stat lines, doing tons of DPM on Scout and being able to clean up all of May's damage. And speaking on May, Demoman matchup is very important as always, it's Highlander. Exile versus May is a very interesting matchup because both these Demomen were in their prime playing against each other in the UGC days, and now they're back. They're both very strong. Whether or not they're in their prime now is probably up for debate. We haven't seen enough. But they're both very strong demo men, definitely two of the best in Invite right now. So we'll be seeing who can output more pressure and buy their team more space. It is Asheville, so demo man spam is going to do a lot in deciding who gets to get control of the point.
Yeah, something else I'm gonna be looking at on the side of Help is Caboose because he's one of the more aggressive heavy players I think we've seen. And when it's working, he can, really be a force to be reckoned with, kind of in the eerie person style of heavy on Asheville. Like I'm walking forward, even if I die, I'm gonna do so much damage and make so much space that my team's gonna easily clean up, in my wake. But we've seen a couple of issues where when Help has been playing as well, he's been getting caught out. Could be a bit of a liability as well. So kind of another player to watch. On the side of MCM, I mean, Watterson, I think, is going to be big. And I'm going to be looking at Evil and Spamfest, personally. I think Evil can be a little bit hot or cold sometimes, and when he's hot, he'll absolutely take over a game. But if the enemy team has a bit of a beat on him, then he can, not put out the best numbers sometimes. And Spamfest, on any map with a shutter, I have PTSD of Spamfest.
Yeah, normally you don't talk about Engineer very much in Highlander, but Asheville, one of those maps where Engineer actually puts in a ton of work, and very few engineers in Highlander's history can, stack up the Spam Fest in terms of engineer impact overall. So definitely be looking to see if she can put up that much impact and help her team take these rounds. Predictions are going to be on your screen now. You can enter them in the chat. Let's do some predictions here on the desk. Alto, what are you thinking for this one?
I'm calling an MCM win. I'm on the fence between a 4-2 and a 4-1, but I think I'm going to say 4-1 MCM.
All right, that's fair. I'm gonna actually go a bit on a limb here. I'm gonna say MCM still win, but I think it's gonna be close. I'm gonna say 4-3 MCM. I just feel
Respect it.
like Somebody Help have a lot of strong players who will be able to play this map well. We didn't talk about him yet, but Sunny, I feel like has been a pretty big unsung hero on this squad, being a very consistent soldier overall. And I feel like combined with all the threats that we've talked about, Sunny's able to get a lot of effectiveness. I feel like Somebody Help will be able to get a lot of pressure on MCM. Not quite sure it's going to be enough to take the map, so I think the MCM do still come out on top.
Yeah, and I'm super interested in this because with Cascade coming up next, I think a lot of the same classes you would expect to succeed on Cascade are also going to be big here on Asheville. So I think it's going to be a kind of prediction for the map overall. Where coming into this, I'm gonna while we're on the predictions, I'm gonna go ahead and say 2-0 MCM here. I I want to believe the Cascade pick's going to work out, but I don't think that. I think that if MCM takes Asheville, they're going to be able to snowball that momentum into Cascade.
Yeah, that's a good take. I sort of agree. Where if we do see if my predicted 4-3 comes through and we see that Somebody Help is getting really close and they're very like proficient on this stop on these Koth maps and they have their strategies in order, I'd favor them on Cascade in that prediction, right? I would be able to do that. But if this comes out and it's 4-1 like you're saying, or it's one-sided for MCM, yeah, I'd look at momentum helping them close it out.
Yeah, no, I would again in agreement with that. It's all really dependent on how this first map turns out. Where I do you think there's a world where Help takes Asheville?
There is definitely because I think 4-3 is my expected scoreline. If a couple things flip, it is Highlander. Of course, all the people who've been playing this game mode for 10 years know that one small thing can tip
Don't
the
say
entire
that.
scales of every round. So
Right.
it's definitely possible for help to take this map. Is it likely? I'd lean no, but that doesn't mean it can't happen, and that's why we play the game, why we watch the game. So we'll have to see how that ends up turning out. As all 18 players have loaded into the server, we're only 12 minutes past the expected start time, so 3 more minutes until these teams go by expectations.
Don't say 10 years. You're making my own mortality very very apparent to me. But while we do have some time, and I guess the teams are just doing some kind of final strategizing, who are you looking at, right? Because you mentioned Sunny, I mentioned a couple players. Who else do you think might be a bit of the unsung hero coming into this for either team that's going to have a big impact?
I think that we've seen both these teams when we've casted them and like how we've seen them play. A lot that determines how successful they are in keeping their momentum going and taking rounds is medic play. I feel like we've seen rounds where Fleeble ends up chain dying, and when that happens, somebody help don't look that good. Whether or not it's Fleeble's like fault or the fault of everyone around the medic for not helping them kite out or not protecting them, it varies every time. But I think whereas a lot of sometimes you can see medic that's being like close to even or like having negligible impact on how a round really ends up going because of other classes. I feel like whichever medic chains deaths together is going to be a bigger detriment to their team than normal.
All right, yeah, definitely can agree with that. Ironically, I'm thinking of somebody help's second push on Steel last week, where I think Fleeble died 5 times without getting an Uber off, and they still managed to take the point and take the half eventually. But again, not those chain deaths are something that we have seen out of both medics at times this season. And yeah, if one side's able to come in and find them, I also think Hino has been very sneakily good for somebody help so far this season. I think Emily, May, and Timeless, and even Sunny to an extent have kind of taken a lot of the spotlight. But we were talking about it on Steel last week. We're like, yeah, maybe he goes in once, doesn't find a kill. Oh, boom, 2 picks next time. There's a free point. Like, if Hino's able to put out a consistent number of frags, and in the flip side, there somebody help is able to keep Evil down, that's just going to be so much more pressure put onto the MCM combo, and it's going to be so much just more breathing room for somebody help to work with. So, gonna be looking for that as well. On the flip side, though, TK, I've kind of had my eye on him for a while. So if he's able to consistently shut out Hino, I think that's going to go a long way towards MCM taking this first map and snowballing that into Cascade.
Yeah, but to those of you who are connoisseurs of the spy class, big fans of seeing it, pay close attention to how these two spies play tonight, because there's a very big stylistic difference. Like we said, he knows the kind of spy who will go for his decloaks, and sometimes we'll get nothing, sometimes we'll get two. And when he gets two, it's big. When he gets nothing, he kind of just dies for nothing. So that's one playstyle of spy that's been around for a while. Evil has a completely different one, where Evil will a lot of the times play to be last one alive in fights and just get cleanup kills with revolvers or any backstabs on people backing out. So watch for Evil getting cleanup. If Evil gets activated in post Ubers, it's always a very good thing, a very good sign for MCM to actually winning and snowballing time.
We're getting word from the players just in game chat that American is having some packet loss issues. So that is what we are waiting on. If that's able to be sorted out, then hopefully we should be live soon-ish. But yeah, I think Evil, a revolver abuser, as we might say. As a med main, I've got some choice words for the balance of that weapon and the ability to easily three-shot someone, but sure no one's interested in hearing that. So, who else haven't we talked about yet? Um, you know, I don't think we've. I feel like Etney's name deserves to have been brought up at some point, given his
Yeah,
pedigree.
yeah, I was gonna say Etney's one of the. I was looking down the rosters. Etney's one of the one players we haven't talked about, and Etney is a long-term, legacy Highlander player who's won countless championships with the K and D stack, like those group of players. He's won tons of times, and he's regarded as one of the most consistent Highlander soldiers of all time. He's not the flashiest like a JJ Slim, or he's not the most mechanically skilled, but he will always get his job done. And we are doing double Koth, so we might not see his banner play, but I'd say he's one of the best banner soldiers in the game. So if that does make it to Vigil, we'll end up seeing that coming out. But in the meantime, for the first two Koth maps, we'll just have to see if he can find consistent impact. Etney's whole thing is consistency, so I'm sure he will. It's just a matter of like, will he make enough plays that his name is like called out a lot, or will he just be a stable force?
And we've got word that we're going live just about now. So, 9:46, only a minute really behind schedule. RGL playoffs are live, and we will be coming in with MCM on blue, Somebody Help on red. Both demos rolling out right now. May going in for bats. Interesting choice as Exile comes out of Shutter.
Ooh, oh, Exile demolished him, ground pounded him with the first, sticky into the second, and immediately takes out that enemy demo man. Watson as well winning the SPS onto Timeless means the mid is basically already lost for the side of Somebody Help. Hino gonna get cleaned up. Evil the only casualty so far for MCM, and that mid was over before it even started. That was amazing play from Exile.
I can't remember what I had for breakfast 2 days ago, but I'm fairly certain we saw May do that bats rollout way back in week 1 on Asheville against Yi, and it really was not something that was a big strength for Somebody Help, I don't think. You know, maybe they were able to still win rounds with it, but it wasn't like, oh yeah, that bats rollout's really the reason why they won that mid. And as we see here, whether or not it's the positioning or, you know, Exile just had the better DM at the moment, really
Uber off bats right now for Somebody Help. They're gonna pop first and get the Scout Demo Man flashed across. Counter Uber is out for MCM, getting soloed onto Wild. He's trying to chase down this Demo Man. We'll end up losing that. May actually some great stickies to keep his life. Timeless and Sunny will go down for it though. Now it's about trying to see who can collapse on the point and get some space. Even though there is a numbers decide for Help, they have space on the point with a buff Demo Man. Now they're gonna get stickies onto the Shutter and Casper down as well. Yeah, Caboose gonna gun him down with that Tomislav across the point. I think he went underneath actually and got the medic as he's running out through Shutter. So great play there by Caboose. Aggression buying that. But Waterson on bats now, going off a headshot onto Emily and Weeble. No medic now means that MCM are going for the recontest. Even if they only have 3 alive, they've stalled the point capture.
Yeah, I do want to call out Etney there as well, who got behind on ramp, took out Sunny, and was just causing chaos in the back line. And there is Wild now on the respawn, coming back in, taking out Timeless. No sniper for Somebody Help means that everyone else on MCM can start walking forward. And this push, you know, as many highlights as there were for it, for Somebody Help is now, you know, essentially over.
Yeah, they're going to try to recontest, but May goes down to that Natasha slowing him in the Shutter. Caboose going to get one return before he goes down, and the point has been held fully by MCM, not even losing a second on that timer, and they have 20% Uber to work with, so Somebody Help, they almost had something there, but ignoring Waterson was their downfall, and they're going to lose that point. Spamfest will go down to Timeless, so there's at least a long spawn timer there. They're going to try and drive push this. They need time now.
Yeah, and they're getting on it, but the spam coming in from Exile is doing a lot to force them off of it. Uber comes out, jumping in is Exile, flying in. Weeble does not have Uber yet. He's only at 85.
Oh, wow.
She not going to get out. Exile finds 2 on the fadeaway pipe. Neo joining Fleeble in the respawn chamber. And there is the defense coming out from MCM. Caboose now and Sunny trying to do what they can, but not going to find anything.
Ooh,
Emily on the back line, way in, finds Casper, so no heals. But, you know, with Fleeble having died, there will be a decent ad with only 35 seconds left on the clock for Somebody Help. They're going to be missing the go now, and Waterson continuing to win the SDS this round.
Yeah, on those barrels, Timeless had no idea, swung out and just got 150 body shot, no chance for him. Now, the spawn advantages are in favor of Somebody Help here because they don't have the points, so they are able to get back out here. Spy, though, Evil gonna butter knife American in the back and take him down. Bomber in, Etney trying to get the med pick, but not able to find the last rocket, and he will go down. So now Somebody Help finally gonna get their first capture with 10 seconds left for MCM. They'll have an Uberad, but they need to make a flawless defense here.
Yeah, and 4 seconds left is the time as it comes over. Only really 20-25% ad for Fleeble right there, but it should be enough, barring any catastrophes happening on ramp sometime soon. But yeah, as you said, it's going to have to be nearly flawless. Any, you know, major deaths on the side of Somebody Help are going to have to be equalized with 2 or more.
They're doing
here
aggressive
comes an
Uber.
aggressive Uber. This is so high risk here. They need to find Casper. It is Emily. Not able to find the medic. Fleeble goes down as well. A bit of a desperation push right there. Caboose and Nino gonna try to find Exile. Will take him out, but Caboose goes down, and that over-aggression is going to be the downfall for Somebody Help. In on point, I think Casper even caught the saw off with YBL as she goes down. And despite Timeless now finally starting to pick up some frag in this round, starting to find some heat. it's a little too late as the cap's going to come in from MCM.
Yeah, 4 seconds left. Uber is popped out on the point. Capture can go over as American goes down. It's 3 seconds to anyone from Somebody Help needs to get on this point. It's just Caboose out here. He's too slow. Wild going to try to jump on Emily rather, and then gets air blasted off. So round 1 goes in favor of MCM. Fairly convincing, only 1 minute off the clock. The aggression from Somebody Help, some people may criticize it. I think it's fine. I think when you're down essentially 3 minutes in time, you need to make a big play happen. They went for it, it didn't work. You know, just go next round. That round did not start well for them, so they'll see if they can get things going in round 2 here.
Courtesy round.
Yep.
Surely the comps are. Exile, though, getting hit definitely a lot more this time. May in a lot faster, as is the rest of Somebody Help. No frags to be found yet. DRs have been popped on both sides. Sunny and Honesty is going to be the first one to go down. No Heavy is the better frag. Exile and Waterson going to fall in short succession. Out runs Casper. TK will be next. Evil on the back line. Going to get caught out by Emily. Hunted down in lobby. And May, I believe May ran out Shutter that time, not Bats, and the result is immediate.
May still went out Bats, but the adaptation from Somebody Help there was amazing, and I want to talk about that real quick. Emily just rushed straight at Exile and chunked him down to like 33% HP. After that, Sunny, just instead of going behind on Bats, he just jumped the combo on Fans. Because of that, everyone was looking behind, no one could help their Heavy. They lost Sand on MCM's side, and Somebody Help just flooded points. So now, Sack coming in, and they are going to get this Uber force. That's a good play by Exile and Etney to get this Uber out of Fleeble. Unfortunately, they're not going to be able to get any kills for MCM, or for, MCM. They're going to lose the players in the sack, but that's fine. They got that Uber.
Timeless. That's all you need.
And Casper still has 100%, so now MCM going to try and make things work here.
Sunny taking out Waterson. I'm not sure where that even was, but yeah, gonna go down. So no sniper, but the respawns are gonna come up on the same way. But yeah, as you said, full ad for Casper right here. Sunny getting deep into lobby here, gonna try to do anything he can to stall this. Frigate popped out really early. Timeless gets stabbed on the respawn by Evil, and completely out is Somebody Help. Nowhere even near the point. They are only going to lose Nino and Timeless, from that earlier stab on this. And yeah, way big over aggression from MCM. Honesty and Waterson going up to Sunny, finding the kills. Caboose gonna help clean up some others. He's on a 6 streak right now. And the, kite and repush from Somebody Help was flawless there.
I'm really impressed by the coordination and the calling there for Somebody Help. They immediately repeaked that with Soldier Heavy, and there was just a mulch factory on the point. They got 3 kills instantly, and with that, they're going to retain control of this. MCM didn't even cap, and now it's a 60% ad for Fleeble. Another sack going over the top. No rockets hit for Etney. He gets a little bit damage. That's a force from Fleeble. I don't like that. You had, like, 80 HP, and you forced one Etney. You couldn't even see him. I guess that's fine. You're scared. It's a playoff game. Don't do anything too risky, but that was an avoidable force.
And right as we say that, 4 players instantly just explode on the side of MCM. I want to say Waterson grabbed 2 of those. Evil gonna get unfortunately caught out in lobby as a trade frag, but it's more than enough at the point to go over to MCM. However, 2 minutes off the clock for Somebody Help, which is a long way towards positioning them in this round.
Yeah, and Fleeble dying afterwards is kind of insult to injury. That entire sequence was poor from Somebody Help, where they forced their Uber, then they weren't ready to get out. They got caught in sight lines, and they just lost time. They really didn't have to lose. They could have just rotated out and kept their Uber charge, and it would have been better, but either way, now we're going to be resetting here. First cap for MCM, and Timeless opens things up with an SVS victory onto Waterson. 10-second spawn timer for him.
Playing too much Apex, my guy.
Yeah.
As Exile and Wild are going to go down right afterwards. That is the Sniper Demo and Scout all killing their counterparts, and this Uber from Casper means absolutely nothing when his teammates are just collapsing around him. The point's going to come back in despite the full ad. Casper not even able to use.
Yeah, they're going to have to wait for spawners here. MCM just lost too many players off Uber, and now they're going to be regrouping. 1 minute left on the clock for Somebody Help here. Looking good to take this round after they get one more successful defense. Waterson just demolishing Emily on that cheating jump up. And now advantage in favor of MCM. They're going to look to go off of Bats here with their Uber.
Yeah, good reflex coming onto the Eddie bomb. But Neo and Caboose going down early. Sunny as well. It's a 9v6 for MCM right now. Make that a 9v5. Decent help on the combo members, but just not enough numbers. Is going to force Somebody Help back. They managed to get another 30 seconds or so off the point. So they're still in charge in this round. Uber's going to be even as well. So not the same immaculate defense we saw before, but they may not need that if they just want to take this round.
Wild and Evil going down late means 10-second respawn timers for them, and no scout means that we'll see Emily with some free reign here to walk on point once a mini sentry goes down. So now, Somebody Help, they're on the back, they're going to try and get off it and get some damage. There's a soldier going over the top, getting a lot of damage in. Rocket Reflected TK goes down to 1. We'll go down to some minigun spray, so with a pyro pick and the damage, they're going to look to push forward and get the point presence.
Oh, despite the good
American!
gonna go in the back line, take out Casper as MCM gets mulched on this ramp. Sunny got reflected by TK and popped up, didn't die, and just got another 2 rockets off on ramp. It did so much damage. Let the combo just has somebody help just walk in and claim those free frags. And Casper, unable to get out as, you know, things are looking really good for Health here. They have full Uber in less than 10 seconds left.
And Timeless big headshot onto Exile. That is going to have them give them so much damage advantage here going in. Caboose 2 more kills onto TK and while Sand goes down as well. And the Uber on point means that the round is closed out. We're tied 1-1 here. Very impressive comeback from somebody out there, showing that they do know what it takes to win these rounds on Asheville.
Definitely, yeah. That just really strong play out of everyone there. And I mean, even Sunny, you know, hit tab. He's not the highest on the scoreboard. That bomb he had onto ramp was vital. He did so much damage, even if I don't think he got any of the kills, but set things up so well. Onto another mid. May off bats again. Not nearly as successful off the mid fight, but honestly, it's going to be the first pick here. Exile goes down. No. Emily finds her mark. And that is 2 big classes down already. Wild hit up super low. Emily going to chase him out too. He is on fire right now on these mids, and that is going to be another mid fight, you know, barring any busy repush from MCM for somebody help. Timeless takes out PK, and Timeless finds Casper.
Oh my god! Bats? And Watterson, after we saw Timeless last week on Steel go ham, taking the game into his own hands, he still has some of that fire in his veins. Gonna pick up those kills. Exile solo bombing in, not gonna find anything for him. Etney as well, gonna go down. So Fleeble staying on this 100% Uber advantage, and now with somebody help having the point and this Uber, they're secured themselves at least a minute off the clock in all likelihood.
I want a side-by-side of that 3K that Timeless just had with the one on Steel, because, oh baby, a triple. Gonna find another one there on the mid fight. Evil.
Oh, counter espionage.
Counter espionage by Hino. That's a morale boost right there. As Exile walking out of Shutter, kiting over to Barrels, gives himself a little bit of a worse angle. Honestly, hit up hard as well.
Oh, big
and
frag.
Hino finds the stab, not even gonna get chased out. Free to go and find someone else. They will find Emily. Etney takes her out as Evil's looking out across point on the respawn. But
Bomb, oh
yeah,
my god, he got
Bomb not gonna
destroyed.
find Fleeble this time.
Yeah, Wymeal wrangling down Etney over the top. Spy now going to be on the sniper, but gets picked out. Evil not finding his mark. And now Uber finally going to be had by Casper. They're down a couple respawns, but it looks like they want to go. But Exile overextends on the shutter. Can't get back in and dies. This is going to be a Pyro Scout Uber. No Doman in sight. TK is air blasting back, making some space at least, but he will go down. And only Hino and Timeless are casualties here. So without a Doman, there's no damage on the combo. They're free to stay on point if you're somebody else.
Casper's not fully out yet, surfing under back. Only one. Casper just barely is going to survive to get the pack up on bats. Sunny's gonna get out. Etney in on the back. Find Fleeble. Oh, does not land that last rocket. Fleeble has an elevated heart rate right now. I'll tell you that. But with the longer spawns, all that training may have been enough for MCM to find a bit of a window here to take in on point, but more than half the round time's already gone.
Yeah, they will get this point capture for MCM off the faster spawns. That's their first of the round. Fleeble with an amazing sidestep, by the way, to juke Etney's rocket. Like, it's playing Matador with a bull there. You have to make sure that Soldier shoots the rocket where you're not taking any damage, and he just completely duped Etney out and kept his life. The reward is 75% Uber. That's an advantage right now for somebody help. Gonna be able to group up on bats here and take this Uber in. Everyone is up for both sides here, but there's gonna be about 15% Uber for somebody help to get a pick with.
He's playing sneaky in secret. Caboose is right in front of him. He doesn't even know. They're going to walk out. The Watterson loses the FPS. Exile gets taken out as well. Perfect use of that.
Now the counter Uber. With Exile dead, again, it's a Pyro Scout Uber, by the way. We see now Fleeble goes down to Evil's revolver, so there's Evil in post coming in big, getting that pick, and the hit scan of Wild will take down 2. So even though that's a Pyro Scout Uber as well, we will see the cleanup come through. Very good job for MCM to focus down the right targets. Evil as well being activated in that post. So MCM winning their first real fight of the round, and with that they're going to reduce this downtime, this disadvantage, down to about 45 seconds and keep Uber at.
Yeah, a really good play by Helper to utilize that 10% ad. A lot of people didn't even realize they had that. But just in the post fight, MCM just executed a little bit better, had a little bit better focus.
Bomb
in
over.
Comes
What great stickies.
Down. Beautiful out of May. Will Crater at the end of that, but they got the med and really only went, you know, traded down 1. That was a 3 for 4 off the sack. And they found the med, so great positioning for MCM. They're gonna get their spawns back up. They should have to just walk in. People almost has.
Yeah, and TK, Etney, Sand all going to go down from this underneath collapse. So now somebody help with a big man advantage. Their spawn timers are going to help that as well, getting them back to the point. Teleporter for Spamfest up to the roof. They used to get heavy up there. Going to go down. So now the entire front line for MCM is wiped out. Oh, the Waterson winning a big SVS win. Do they want to solo point for that? If you're help, it looks like the answer is no. So Timeless, 10-second respawn timer, 100% Uber now for Fleeble. They just need one good defense, and they'll be on the final fight point.
Yeah, and wow, a little too aggro on that ramp. Gonna go down. In comes the bomb from Etney. Fleeble had to use anyway, so not that bad of a force.
Casper's dead.
Caught out by Hino on the back line. Sunny and Hino will go down, but tons of frags for somebody to help. Should allow them to continue holding this. In runs Exile, gonna take out Emily. So no scout to run him down. Gonna be forced off a little bit from the spam, but MCM may still win this push yet despite losing their med.
That's a safety play for somebody help. They got the med pick, so they know they don't need to risk losing their med in return. There's still an advantage. 35 seconds left on the clock, 30-second ad overall. So now, with the med advantage, they'll be able to get this Uber and find one more fight to win the round.
Yeah, Waterson playing really forward, knowing that they need to get some kind of pick here to even out that Uber, and it's grown a little bit in the favor of Fleeble right now, about 30% or so. We saw how well they used 10. The 30 is going to be more than enough for them. Sticky's on Shutter, but Evil gets caught out. No spy to call this big pick.
That's big.
By Waterson onto Emily.
Yeah,
but
now,
like they're going to use that to Shutter.
Yep, it's a solo demo Uber. Caboose not able to get a flash, and so now they're walking forward with just a demo man, but MCM is already long gone. They're going to lose pick classes, but that's about it as Timeless and Sunny go down. So now Post is heavily advantageous for MCM. They're going to have Uber as well, and no recapture was out for somebody help, so that Uber was just not well timed at all
and
with Emily getting sniped.
Too.
Yeah, Fleeble going down is really big. It's going to have to be a quick fix angle, and now MCM with the point, and it taking down to 10 seconds, they're going to win the round with this Uber.
Yeah, Exile coming forward onto Bats. American doing his best to cause chaos. He's walking out of Shutter, and what looked like it may have been a round, not quite in the hand, but big pick onto Casper coming out
Spawn
of
out.
Yeah, the spawners are all coming in for...
They're all 1 HP too. There's no HP on half these players. They're going to get Etney in. Takes out Sunny. American going down as well. Waterson's dead though. It's about getting on the point. Rushing it with your spawners is what somebody help needs to do. They are going to get there as both meds die, so it really is a quick fix angle. It's going to be crits actually for somebody help. They'll be able to get this crit screen up, but Etney in the back line not able to find Fleeble. And now point gets captured up 35 seconds plus whatever overtime awaits us. This is going to go double overtime, and there's going to be a crit for Fleeble. We need to watch Casper's medigun.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what he's on. He's on quick fix, so should the
quick fix, though.
Quick fix come out, it's going to be a bad time for the members of Somebody Hell or MCM. Do remember, you cannot cap the point with a quick fix, Uber. You will just lose the round with it. As the jump's coming in from Etney, they're going to find Caboose, but Waterson and TK and Spamfest all go down.
He doesn't find any stab. He's going to go down.
Not able to get Fleeble. She is at 85 on the script. Etney on her head, though. Going to be forced back.
They're cleaning it up.
And yeah, Casper got a saw, but goes down. Not going to be enough. And what an absolute nail biter as Somebody Help. Shock at least me. I don't know about you, but take the 2-1
I expected
at the
this.
half.
I definitely think that this team has what it takes to take rounds against MCM on Koth. We've mentioned BV, historically a stopwatch team. This is a different BV. This is BV with Emily. This is BV with Timeless playing amazingly. This is BV with May back. When there's so much damage, so much pressure being output, that round was super crazy. We almost saw a throw come out of Somebody Help, but instead they're able to recover, get those spawners on the point, focus down who they needed to, and it didn't even really come down to the crits. They just won that with pure aggression and collapsing onto the targets. MCM, they kind of grouped on Bats there. They all dropped down onto low ground, just got mulched underneath that shit area. So we saw Somebody Help just take advantage of that, the positioning over them, and just clean up the round. So very impressive performance to take that 2-1 lead, and a surprise to some. It's definitely interesting to see the 2-1 lead for Somebody Help instead of just one round.
I think as Chad is accurately calling out, I'm surprised to see the heavy diff coming out here.
We mentioned Caboose.
He's one of my favorite players, but he just, he's not someone that I would have... If you told me that Help was going to be up 2-1 at the half,
with Caboose
I would not
fragging.
have put Caboose as the top fragger there.
Yeah,
I would have probably
granted,
put 4 people ahead of him.
Yeah, granted, Emily 1 beneath, Sunny 2, Timeless 2, right? It's super. Those top 4 fraggers are all super close, but you don't normally see the heavy go that big, and we saw multiple times where Caboose was able to come up in post, get a bunch of kills. A couple times he was able to sneak up underneath and snipe a medic pick, so Caboose had a phenomenal half, 21 and 11. He's not even dying for his crimes that much either. Sand taking way more. Sand actually took... Hold on, who took more damage? I can't say that on this. Heal per minute. Yeah, Caboose took more heals.
Check. He took Caboose took 461, Sand took 518.
Yeah, so Caboose even took less DPM while getting more damage and more frags. So Caboose just kind of outplaying across the board, taking less focus, doing more damage. I guess that's what you want to see out of your heavy on a map like Asheville. That's eerie person stat lines.
Something else interesting, both engineers died less than their medics.
Yeah, Spemfest versus Wymeo. We've seen them
Interesting.
both do a bunch of wrangling on fans, and they're really not getting focused that much. Normally we talk about how snipers pad their stat lines with engineer headshots that don't mean anything. I don't think I saw an engineer get headshot all half.
Yeah, I don't know if that's just better target priority from the snipers, immaculate engineer gameplay, or something in the middle, but
The
yeah,
AD tech while in Wrangler, it's impossible to hit now at this level. Yeah, and then May, 100 DPM above Exile. Exile, he's nearly top deathing his team, by the way, which is really bad. You don't want to see your Devil Man get anywhere near your spy in terms of deaths, and he's one off. So even with all those deaths, he's still managing 410 DPM. He's 100 behind May, right? But 410 is, I wouldn't say it's great, but it's respectable. You can win around with your Devil Man at 410 DPM. It's just he's dying at a lot of inopportune times. We saw at the end of, I believe, the second round where he kind of just tried to overextend and get back to his team, and he ended up dying. It was actually the third round, wasn't it? Where we saw the double Pyro Scout Ubers in a row for MCM. Yeah, imagine if Exile was in on either of those. They could have had more time, and then that doesn't go to double overtime.
Yeah, I mean, they should have probably won that third round regardless.
Yeah, they should have.
That overtime defense from them was less of a defense and more of a, I don't know, snooze job. Exile jumped forward onto Bats when I'm not sure why, and he let point get rushed from Shutter, which I think was a really just bad play in like the moment there. And had he just stayed on point, put stickies down, and zoned people out, they probably are looking at a 2-1 lead. And moreover, the momentum that Somebody Help just got from winning that round in that fashion is absolutely huge, because we both of us doubted them. I mean, you can look at the points in chat. Looks like the majority of people watching this doubted them, and to win in that fashion where you're not just relying on one player, right? It's not, our sniper's really popping off, or
someone has 50 kills.
Them is like, someone on the enemy team is really just having a bad game. No, they just outslugged MCM, which, we mentioned they had the same record coming into this, but there were way more match points from MCM's side. MCM beat them in the regular season. They had Somebody Help had some struggles on this map, and this is still MCM's map.
Yeah, that's why I was saying that this is not the same Penguins, / Somebody Help stack that everyone is so used to seeing at this point. Throughout history of Highlander, this has been a team that has used, coordination, cunning, some strategies on stopwatch to take their rounds and get their close wins. But this Somebody Help is an iteration that can slug with the best of Invite. They're just going head to head against MCM and beating them. Emily, 20 frags, almost 400 DPM on Scout. May, out DPMing out on Exile. Timeless had an amazing game against Waterson, even though Waterson is top fragging for his team. Timeless popped off tons of chain kills in a row. Hino's played amazing. Wymeo's played great. Caboose had probably the game of his playoff career. And it's just all coming together for Somebody Help. They're slugging with them, and they're winning.
Yeah, and I think that's something to keep in mind, is that I don't know if we talked about it necessarily this season, but last season when we were casting Shovel, one of the things we mentioned is that Exile has that tendency to get a little feedy. He can find himself in a lot of awkward deaths, dying, like you said, at the start of Ubers, when sometimes it's just bad luck running into a sightline, but it happens consistently enough that it's a bit of a known factor at this point. Somebody Help's doing a great job taking advantage of it. As May, again, opting for the Bats rollout. Exile getting forward, though, has the health advantage, and no one able to run at it.
Blade pipes.
Double pipe. Emily right after. That is a triple for Exile, so Caster's blessing right there. Caster's going to find a saw onto Hino. Evil and Memphis going down, but that's about it. Exile proves that because he can have a couple high death stacks, there's no reason why he's been an Invite for so long.
Yeah, he giveth and he taketh.
On his bat.
He giveth and he taketh, and here he certainly giveth. Just double piping Fleeble and cleaning up Emily as well. That was just amazing from Exile. Love to see if he can keep it up. You can't just have one good mid. We see Pyro walking across. American doing good damage in zoning. Now Megan go over the top, try and find some damage. Not going to find much. Instead, Casper gets out at 60 HP, so going to be able to keep that full Uber charge up for MCM's defense here. So this time, starting out on the right foot is MCM.
Yeah. And that sack got nothing. We've seen a couple of pretty successful sacks coming out of Somebody Help. That time it found absolutely no one, as they went 0 for 4 on that wave. I like these stickies by Exile just outright on the roof. like on the the white ceiling there. Edney though a little bit over aggressive, gonna be caught out. That's not gonna be too damning of a frag. As for this whole
that one will be though.
That will be, yeah. Timeless able to find Exile. He gives it, then he take it away. As we said, here comes the health push.
American leading the way, trying to air blast these combos back. He doesn't get a flash, will go down. Uber is out for both sides now. Good flash there to keep health on May. So post-fight going to be going on right now. Both teams down about 3 players. Respawns, though, are in for MCM. If they can get to point, it'd be big. Etney going in the backline. A Revolver Spy, Evil as well. Doing some work. Etney will go down for his trouble, though. And now MCM, they are holding the point. They're going to try and get control of it once again with these spawners. But Exile gets sniped again. 2 straight lives. Wild goes down as well. And now the collapse is in for somebody help. They're trying to get on that, trying to get this mini.
World's greatest fadeaway on Casper. Oh my god, and Casper straight back into it. That is unfortunate. Casper surfed from ramp all the way onto fans, and then he was able to hit the direct as he was running away, meaning that no heals, the fight will eventually switch over to somebody else. And despite more than a minute and a half gone, they will take this back, sitting on near full Uber ad too. So took them a little bit, but they were able to, play that fight into a win.
Clutch kill there from Sunny to give his team this advantage. Will be able to fight their way back into the round. Waterson is playing left side back. They are aware of where he is. There's some counter sack stickies out for Demoman here, but they're going to get popped before the sack comes in. Going over the top Eddie. I believe he had a reflect, and there's Exile going to go around as well. Good denial. Timeless will be a casualty in this Uber. Sand will die as well as Caboose. So heavies are traded.
Waterson ran through lower to find that kill onto Caboose. He's going to get chased out. TK, that's not his barrels. He's going to live a little bit longer than he should have.
Yeah, he put Emily on the other side of the map, traded places with her.
Yeah, Waterson will get taken out for that gross overextension inside of him. But Fleeble did not have to use. She was long gone in the lobby when those sacks came in. Edney,
look at that soldier blast. They didn't see each other.
Ew.
Yeah, Ubers get popped out on point though right now. It's an even exchange. It's going to be in favor of MCM though, as Exile didn't flash nearly as much people. While going to get now last flash, trying to do damage on this heavy, but Emily's on top doing some damage. Exile gets stabbed. Hino with a big pick onto the dome, and now repush damage coming in from somebody help. Their health is good for everyone except for Emily. Going to get back and get a pack, and now Edney will go down as well. MCM are trying to recapture this. If they could get it, it'd be big as time is nearly even. It looks like somebody help going to end up letting them have it. Going to be backing up. TK though dying afterwards to Timeless means that there will be a spawn timer. Watson will trade back.
Yeah, that pick up the Timeless is going to be huge because you know that they wanted to go right back into that. Honestly, on the Natasha, interesting play here. Maybe just sick of Emily running at his demo man.
He's been running it since first half.
Has he really?
Yeah.
He kill through the once, I feel like.
Either way, now both meds going to be even on Uber. All 18 players are up. Etney is hiding above the shutter. He will end up getting spotted here by Caboose, but there's some support from Waterson. Going to end up taking that heavy down in shutter. And now Etney dropping down a peak. They want to take an aggressive Uber, but counter is out for somebody help. We're all for about the same time for both sides. And now we see Weil in behind. Will try to get back to his team, and he will. Both soldiers will end up trading to each other on the sidelines. And now post-fight is in full swing. Exile again picked by Hino. Exile cannot catch a break with these pick classes, but Evil in behind Revolver will end up taking down Fleeble. Both spies making a play, but there's Evil getting his med to Uber ad. 25 seconds left on the clock for MCM, and somebody help need to regroup.
MCM is proving that they just need Exile in the mid-fights at this point, and they can take it from there.
Yeah, he hasn't gotten to play ever since the mid-fight, but he's putting in a lot of work regardless. So now he's back up doing some work. Hino gonna be seeing if he can find a pick. Somebody help have to flood the point here, otherwise we're tied at 2 apiece. Who is up to do it?
And for the ramp push here, maybe not the most advisable. Perhaps are going to be back and forth, but no one on point.
Oh, they didn't get it.
Just didn't walk on it.
Yeah, I think the problem is Caboose and American got wrangled down by Spamfest. So when you lose the Pyro Heavy, like those are the players who are looking to stand on the point. So Spamfest just beaming them down with that laser, and as a result, no one was left to stand on it. So round will go over in favor of MCM, tied 2 apiece.
Yeah, that was exactly the round that we needed to see from MCM. Even with Exile dying as often as he did, they were still able to take a fairly convincing fashion right here. He is getting hurt up on the
Sunny!
Here comes Sunny, finds Waterson right off the bat, takes everyone else so low as well. Exile will get sniped. He's only a bullet away from dying anyway, though. TK going next, and the mids on in this match have been lively to say the least, as they swing back into favor of somebody help. I believe the team that's won mid has gone on to win the round all 4 times?
Maybe not round 1. I'm not quite sure though. We'll have to check that one out later. But
remember when May went off bats and immediately got mulched?
Yeah.
So definitely round 1.
Okay, yeah. So either way, we're gonna be up here. Both meds gonna have Uber charge in just a second, as Casper had lost a bit of charge time because of all the players that went down. Big shout out to Sunny, by the way, for chaining up his mids every time. Etney gonna get one back onto Timeless. Will go down for it as Exile finds nothing. Yeah, they're gonna get this force in the end. So big bombs by the explosive classes for MCM, and nothing having for somebody help here. They're gonna have to regroup on that one.
Etney should not have been able to get a sniper and a mid force on the same bomb like that when they weren't even grouped. It's a little bit of a lack of coverage, I feel like, from the somebody help combo. But you know, if they can show another really good defense like we saw in that third round, then things will be good for them. Spamfest caught out early, so that's just one, you know, less mini sentry to deal with. They are going to kite into lobby here. Timeless goes down though, so no sniper in order to help re-push this and deny the point. Sunny in the back though, gets one rocket on the castle, sent flying. Will go down as well. Then Natasha finds
Demo Law May trying to do some work on the enemy fans here, but he will end up going down as well. That's just somebody help trying to contest for a med pick. Fleeble is out in spawn, healing up. Actually, no! Fleeble saw while you cannot lose a 1v1 to a medic there and give him 25%. Fleeble actually making amazing play and gets the Uber charge and gets out, so now somebody help have a door back into the round.
Yeah, watch Watterson though, super forward on the boxes, going
for
a
heavy.
hit. Yep, Caboose with the fists out though, and in comes Emily. Not gonna find Watterson.
Will they expect Uber?
Yeah, Uber coming in here. American should get flagged so he doesn't go down. Yeah, Exile likely going to be left out to dry on this. Not much he can do. Not really his fault he's going down this time. But Timeless and Caboose are down on the side. Honesty, on boxes here, going to do a ton of a lot of damage.
Oh my god, Watterson is swinging further and further, getting more and more picks. And all of a sudden, the only players left on the point are Medic here and the Demo Man. They're gonna have to back up through ramp side and somebody help. They're not actually able to get too much time off the clock, so time gonna be even in just a second here for MCM, and they have Uberad as well, playing aggressively in their opponent's shutter, but they don't like it too much. There's all 9 players up on their opposition, so gonna be backing up, and with time even, now MCM, they have the lead of this round with the Uber.
Yeah, Uber going in through shutter. The last time we saw this from it didn't work out too well. Doesn't look like it's going too well either for MCM.
They
right there.
Exile.
Exile and Casper both gonna go down. Yeah, wow. That is just not the time to do that when you're even in time in a round and you have full ads. They gift wrap that with the fanciest bow you can imagine back over to somebody help. They are going to trade out heavies right here, but that benefits somebody help more than anything. Sniper's going to go down. No combo.
Okay, mini sentry denying him.
Evil.
He forces. Yeah, good coordination there for Spy Soldier. When you're in your darkest hour and you need a meta pick, there's no 2 better classes than Spy and Soldier to get it out. So everyone looks up at Etney, Evil able to force that in the end. At least people didn't die. The forcing there is better than dying because Casper did die in the that Uber. So now even Ubers, they have point back. Somebody help are going to be able to get some time off the clock.
Quick micro tip for all you med mains out there. If you get forced in a situation like that where there's nothing to do, you know, like your Uber won't do anything, flash as many people as you can that aren't capping to help it run out fast so you can start building again.
Good advice.
Likely not going to matter, but little micro tip can give you 1 or 2%. As Evil be clicking on barrels, not going to find anyone. As the help combo going to rotate over to bats. Time just taking in their favor, but MCM will take the point back, so a bit of a moot point.
Heavy versus heavy on the shutter here. Sand is caught and known about. Going to be trying to get out, and Sunny getting sniped by Watterson again, protecting his heavy on the shutter. We've seen it multiple times where Watterson protects the shutter angle, but Timeless going to get him back for that. An extended sniper spawns means that's favorable for the side of help.
Yeah, May though getting taken out by that sticky trap. No demo, but
here comes the Uber
right there. Exile caught out, not used on in time. As Emily staying in on ramp to use some damage.
TK.
Timeless gonna be down, but yeah, TK in on the Fleeble. Will take her out. Caboose goes next. TK taken out for his trouble, but the fight is thoroughly in MCM's favor right there. Great just post-Uber positioning by everyone on MCM that even with Exile down, they're able to get out and still win the defense.
Yeah, it really is about the positioning because we saw somebody help the end of that Uber. Their medic was in shutter. No one was available to help a Pyro walking across the point at her. So with that, Fleeble goes down, and all of a sudden MCM now a minute up in time with 10% Uber at as well. Somebody help, need a miracle, and Hino feeding a Saw will not help that.
Didn't count, I don't think. Didn't give over.
Didn't count. Alright, either way, they're still at advantage, and now somebody help dropping off bats, trying to find some space. They are going to force MCM off this shutter, so Casper going to wait for this Uber charge, although Fleeble's built very well, going to be having soon.
Yeah, Anthony goes in on ramp, but there's no one for him to find. They're slowly getting tap time onto this, as they do have numbers out with Watterson being dead. It's just Fleeble solo capping, and he's going to take her out. What is going on? Caboose is playing so far forward. No one's capping. Fleeble took it up to her own and goes down for it. Unlikely they win the round regardless, as they wait for her to spawn and delay this cap, but losing that Uber there will not add any, favor to them winning this round.
Yeah, that's just Somebody got too ahead of themselves. They're like, we have a bunch of players killed. Let's get some space. Let's walk forward. We have a minute on the clock. They forgot the most basic moments of Highlander. Cap the point and protect your medics. So off of that, now MCM full Uber popping out of Shudder, going onto ramp, trying to force people into a corner. American unfortunately caught in this corner. Watterson will go down in exchange, but Fleeble chased down by Etney. It's just non-medic and non-pyro here for somebody help trying to contest points. But Hino, big kill on Casper. If the recontests come in, it would be big. But keep in mind, spawns in favor of MCM. They have numbers as well. Gonna be looking to cap this one up. It's overtime for them. It's just Caboose and Sunny up. Not gonna be able to get there in time.
Sunny needs to go in here.
Yeah, they're gonna clean up.
Caboose, yeah.
And that's
Caboose
2.5.
stay alive, maybe, but that is MCM now up 3-2 as they take a 2-0 in this second half and put themselves on map point.
Yeah, MCM coming back there, definitely playing a lot better across the board than in the rounds that we saw them lose. Unfortunately, we still saw a lot of holes in the game for MCM where, Exile, besides mid, he was a walking respawn timer for that first round. In the second round, Casper and Exile overstayed an enemy Shudder, both went down and gave somebody help a window open. So it's not a flawless game by MCM by any means, but in that round, it looked like somebody help were just more lost.
Casper's got 3 kills and May's only got 1. That's not a good sign. This has to be the most confusing demo stat comparison of all time.
Yeah, wait.
I've never seen anything like that.
So Exile top death his team, right? We can expect that honestly because he was chain dying round 1. He had I'm pretty sure 7 of those deaths were the first round, 5 were the second. But still put out 360 DPM. That's not very much. For Demo Man on this map, that's not much at all. 360 is not up to par for Invite Demo on Asheville. That said, he's still top of his team. Weil and Edney did a good job catching up to him. And even with that, we saw May, 450 DPM, 1 in 5 deaths. That's still technically top deathing for his team, but they just weren't able to get the kills that were in the first half. So that's just a really weird round, all things considered. And to once again reiterate, that was not a flawless game from MCM at all. It's a 2-0 on record. They won both rounds, which is what you need. But they made so many mistakes. I'm mainly looking at the Exile dying to pick classes off cooldown is one thing. Sometimes you just have a really bad run like that. But when they overstayed an enemy Shudder, popping an aggressive Uber where they found nothing, and to all the viewers who may not have seen it, what happened in that exchange was Casper unflashed everyone, went for a saw, missed it, but because he walked forward for the saw, he couldn't get out of Shudder. The Uber ran out, and there was no invincibility left. So, greedy, short-sighted play should have punished them a lot harder. They should have lost the round off that, but in the end, they were just able to pull it out with DM at the end, just getting the kills when they needed to, and they got the 2-0. So, again, on paper, it's fine, but honestly, I don't think that half says anything about, where these two stand in terms of power. That was a really weird half.
What's really funny is a lot of the times on Product, especially, we talk about the Highlander Trinity of Scout, Demo, and Sniper. I would say all 3 of those classes on help outperform their counterparts.
Yeah,
May's lack of kills notwithstanding, we can point out the old Nico Jim's 030 and 30 log. Did 260 DPM on Engineer, got 30 assists, just could not pick up a kill, right? Sometimes it happens, but I think one of the things that's interesting is that you pointed out last round is that Caboose did so much on his forward plays, but he wasn't getting punished for it. He had triple Sans deaths this half, and I think him getting punished for it may have been that delta that led towards, the rounds going in MCM's favor.
Yeah, definitely that, as well as Hino. He got shut down a lot harder in this round than the previous one. We saw a couple big kills. Keep in mind, one of those 6 kills was a garbage time medic pick, so that one really shouldn't be on the stat sheet for anything. He really has 5 impact kills, right? Which is a lot less than he was able to get in the first half. So MCM, even though their combo play was full of holes, right? We can still say they did a good job adjusting to what was threatening them directly. And Sunny as well had a lot quieter of a game where he did a lot less damage, less than Etney in this half. And we just weren't able to see the pop-off classes for somebody help take over like they did in the last 2 rounds of the first half. So whether or not that maintains a consistent thing, we'll have to see. But again, I feel like that half was just super variable. There's not really much to take away other than the fact that MCM, they did better at looking at what was killing them, but there's still holes in their gameplay that can be exploited.
Yeah, I think part of the thing we're seeing too is that MCM was the favorite here because they have the margin to have Exile play like that and still win, right? when Caboose is no longer top fragging the server while, you know, maintaining a pretty modest death rate, they don't have that leeway to do as well as they did last time. Sunny's going to get caught out by Wild immediately. Super forward pressure. Neo goes down, and so does Caboose. Exile activating on these mid-fights. Fleeble's going to go down as well. This is just picked up 4.
Yeah, okay, Exile's a mid-fight player. On mid-fights, no one's better, right? Exile's a mid-fight player.
If he doesn't die immediately.
Yeah, he's a mid-fight player. So he gets a bunch of kills there. MCM cleaning up that mid very quickly. So with that, now they're going to be a step into the door for the final round. Keep in mind, with a score of 3-2, one more round is all MCM needs to take map 1.
Yeah, and then we will be looking at it as Cascade. Granted, with how close he's been playing, Cascade is anyone's map at this point. But, you know, I think just having that satisfaction that, hey, yes, we did win on our own map, and that we have to win 2 maps in a row. Yeah, that coming in way out into Shutter is Casper. They're going to find Evil and TK.
Oh, yeah, Casper.
The American drops Casper with a shotgun.
That's American's second medic pick on Pyro in Asheville, so able to get forward on the sack and get the crucial shotgun shots. And with that, now somebody help. They're going to be at an advantage here once they get their spawners. Going to be looking to walk forward on point. We'll have to see if MCM are able to get any picks. Spy, scout, look for them. We see Etney as well on enemy ramp. Could be something to look for.
Yeah, and with full ad here, you know, it's just time burning right now for somebody help. They want to try to get this in the minute region, not the minute and a half, just to give themselves a little bit more cushion. As walking out is the combo they're going to use, yeah.
He's going to ram down.
Go down. Casper should be able to escape, though.
Yeah, good bodyguarding.
The overextend is Emily. We'll get taken out by Honesty. Actually, trade comes through. Are they going to stall that for the scout? It's still 5 seconds. It looks like they are...
I think it's fine to stall this one just because there's not a massive disad they're at. They don't really need this time that badly. They're probably going to look to take this into overtime because they are down about a minute and a half on the clock. So for somebody to help, they're at a disadvantage. They can still make this round work with all 9 players up. And good bodyguarding there from MCM to make sure Casper can get out alive. They all died for it, but that's what you want. You just want your medic to get out there with that Uber. And as a result, now 20% ad for Casper. MCM going to be grouping on this battlement area, looking to drop down and take some trades.
Honestly, peeking out from under Secret, gonna get chased out there. Goes down. Uber popped out, but only Caboose dead so far. Exile jumping in on ramp, and Wario finds himself in an awkward situation. Get a demo man and a scout. Timeless trying to go for something.
Look at Waterson. He's an enemy shutter. He gets spotted out by his soldiers, so he's not going to find that shot that he wanted. Waterson known to go for their shots, but unfortunately not going to find it. Now somebody help with full Uber. This is the push they need to make work. They got about 45 seconds off the clock here, so now if they can get one Uber this push, they're back in the round.
Yeah, and I mean, they are kind of burning some time yet again with this full ad. As they go in off of ramp, Eddie and Evil will be the 2 going down. Emily super deep in on bats. Gonna find Spam Fest before trading out. Maybe not
while
really looking
chasing
for
up
fun.
Fleeble.
Yeah,
Fleeble left alone on ramp.
So why are they Ubering off of ramp?
Yeah, that's a good question. They took it up there, and we saw a really great play out of the flank for MCM where they got really aggressive on ramp, and they forced that Uber really early. So there was no world where that Uber ever gets anything valuable for somebody to help. They can't get the med, they can't get the point, and they just lose time on that one. So all of a sudden now MCM with full Uber, there are only 50 seconds left. Emily gonna go down as well once again. Evil not finding his pick, but it doesn't matter too much as Caboose will die as well to Spam Fest. Yeah, now they're dry pushing this.
Kill, but there was some crits. Yeah, super far forward is the combo right there. They are going to get the force out onto Casper and Exile. Really no kills to be found. Sunny's death is unrelated to that Uber, so as good of an outcome for that sack as you could hope for. No one died really involved in it, but they're still going to have to push in here. Caboose is almost dead already.
Yeah, Waterson is railing off headshots. He's staring at this heavy. Caboose trying to eat, maybe get out alive for this one. He will. Sand and Hino gonna go down. Emily as well dying, but there's Sunny over the top. 3. Yep, big kills from Sunny there, getting while TK and Waterson with that, they're able to capture this point up. Just a level 1 from Spamfest in front of the crates. Do you see that floating? Wait. Do you see that level 1? Or is that, am I crazy?
No,
I'm crazy.
Where?
I'm crazy. There was a level 1 on my screen that's not showing up. Whatever. I wish I could.
I think that's on your end.
I have that on my demo. Either way, with the capture up, full Uber, somebody help are in this round. However, it's overtime for MCM. They need to not give anything.
Yeah, they have the ad here, so they should be, you know, have at least one. Look at this forward sticky trap. Going to be caught out by Sand, though. Oh, that would have been really, really surprising if they got something. Haven't seen that really come out yet. If you go deep in for it. But TK and Neo going to be the first 2 to go down here. Uber needs to come in off of ramp soon. Timeless is already dead. In runs Emily, Uber popped off in exchange from Casper. Sunny gets taken out, but there's no sniper for MCM right here. Means they can be playing wide.
Watch for Hino. Hino's big. Oh, Sand turns around and finds him, denying that backstab. Now playing the front side. Etney is in the back line, doing big damage. Exile going to take down Caboose. Etney loses his life, but everyone for help is going to go down. And with that, that's going to be the capture, the round in favor of MCM, taking this one 4-2 on Asheville.
Guess they split our predictions there, huh?
Yeah. 4-1, 4-3, it's 4-2, you know? On average, we're right.
Yeah, and for what it's worth, if... Because I'm thinking about Cascade immediately, right? You know, we should be doing analysis on that. I think it does say something that MCM just took 3 rounds in a row, and I'd argue they got more and more dominant over that time.
Yeah, there's one thing I want to point out, one key factor, and that's that in the last couple rounds, we saw Emily go on feed mode. When we see somebody help be successful in their matches, what happens is Emily's able to clean up on all the damage being done, all the distractions being put forward by the likes of Sunny and Hino, and the damage by May, and Emily gets a ton of kills. And Emily was dying off cooldown there. Emily top death, the logs are up on your screen now. Emily top death the team there. And when that happens, even if she has 350 DPM, right? Top deathing the team, not getting the cleanup kills is not what you need out of your scout. On the other hand, Weil popped off in that last round, 11 and 3, 400 DPM, really picked up the performance there for a while, the sniper turned scout main. So big props to him for keeping his head in the game on Asheville and helping his team close it out. But if you're somebody help there, you need to make sure that Emily can stay in the game.
Exile only had 1 death, bottom death of the game.
We're flipping storylines as fast as burgers here at McDonald's. So correct guess is DC Killing Spree and Millen HL. Shout out.
Yeah, the homies and Toad Supreme, of course, as well as everyone else. But we know them, so you know they take prio. So good old nepotism on the RGL cast as we move into Cascade, which I really, if you had asked me after the first 3 rounds when help was up 2-1, I might have put it in their favor, but from what I've seen the past 3 rounds that MCM took, I don't know if I have it in me.
Yeah, I mean, you can call it recency bias, but the reality is momentum plays a huge factor, especially when you're going from Koth map to Koth map. Granted, there are a lot of differences between how you're supposed to play Cascade and Asheville, rather. Where Asheville, the center point is on low ground. On Cascade, it's on high ground. So you're able to do a lot of different things, hold the point in a lot of different ways. And one thing that I noticed about somebody helps holds on Asheville was that they played super defensively most of the time for their holds. If they're at even Uber, they would play back on their ramp and pretty much give things up for free. If they were at Ad, they'd play forward and just see if they could kite backwards. And they'd lose players on it every time. Like they would lose heavy on the shutter, they'd lose players on the roof, and it just wasn't looking that good. Maybe on a map like Cascade, because remember, this is the pick of somebody help here, right? So they felt confident enough in Cascade to choose this map over Steel, which we would consider one of their home grounds. So there's something on this map that they're confident about, that they're better at doing than on Asheville for sure. So whether or not that will be enough to tip the scales, we'll have to see.
Something else that I've been seeing show up in chat a little bit is that apparently MCM's very bad at Cascade, which is not something that we would really know since we haven't been digging through logs this season. They won their match 4-0 on it, but that was against Worst Comp Format, who went 1-6 this season, I believe. They took the win.
The second to last place team.
Yeah, so that doesn't, really mean too much. So if we consider that Asheville was the map that MCM feels strongest on, whereas Cascade's a map that they have a known weakness on, I could easily see that variance turning into a 1 map for somebody help here.
Yeah, exactly. And predictions are on your screen now. They're a lot closer than they were on Asheville. That's a 0.4 difference overall. For our predictions, I don't know. I honestly want to say another 4-3. I'm not sure who to say it for, though. I feel like you mentioned, we can expect Cascade to be closer if the intel that everyone has is correct and if, no team has a major blunder, right? So it's just a matter of, do we think somebody help has it in them to take over this map and force us to map 3? I'm going to edge on yes. I feel like we saw enough out of them with their success on Asheville. And then they go into this map knowing they're a lot more favored. They probably practice this map in scrims because they know they'd picked it. If it's a known weakness of MCM, you have to think, did MCM practice it much? Did they say, okay, well, this might be a lost map unless we pop off? All these are questions that we don't really know the answer to. It's just, I feel that somebody helped, they showed enough, and if this is a map they're favored on, I predict for them 4-3.
All right, I'm glad you did that because now I can go 4-3 the other way.
There you go.
So I'm gonna say MCM. I just, again, it is recency bias, but I feel like MCM put enough together in that last Asheville round that, and somebody helped look out of sorts enough. Somebody helps play on Asheville got worse as it went on. It was not, in my eyes, a factor of MCM's getting better.
Yeah, I would agree.
Which you could argue Exile fixed the feeding issue in the last round, but a 1-round sample size isn't very meaningful. I do not trust the fact that somebody help was getting worse as that went on. And that does, I don't think that bodes good things for them. But we are live here, so should be a back and forth one regardless, unless, we're just completely wrong and it's a 4-0 in one direction.
Yeah, that'd be boring. That'd be a boring way to end this match. This is the 2-3 seed. We need this to go to all three. And with that mid-fight going to be rolling out here, this time MCM on red, help on blue. So change that one up in your mind as mid-fight going to be popping off here. May going super aggressive. Timeless going to get a snipe onto Spamfest, but loses his life as a result. Now Spy Soldier Bomb onto the combo of help. Meanwhile, a lot of kills going in favor of MCM. They're trying to get Fleeble out as now they have possession of point. The boost actually doing good work. Oh, but Fleeble goes down. Finally, Etney finds his man, and they're going to get that medic pick. So with that, now MCM taking mid-fight and getting their med a full Uber ad.
Evil was decloaked on Fleeble and someone else, and probably went through 4 clips of revolver ammo without taking a shot, or without taking any damage, and then Etney just came in from behind and took Fleeble out. What was interesting, she had gotten a saw, actually, so she did damage Evil, but had she lived there, it would have been ad coming back into this, but going down, not going to happen. May now going in for the sacks, in onto Casper, will get the force out. It's about as much as you could ask for if there's somebody help right here. Fleeble all the way back in spawn, no opportunity for her to be found. Actually, outside of it in the corner, which could lead to it's really aggressive Waterson sideline, but I would have worried about that.
I don't think that's what you do on Cascade, but I can appreciate the thought. Anyway, now with Exile over-aggressing, going down actually, so that's not going to be good for him. Now with no Demo Man, we're going to see somebody help walk up here with Uber Ad, and Hino going to counter Espionage Evil once again. That's 2-0 in favor of Hino for this Spy v Spy, and now with Uber 85%, we're going to see somebody help walk on point. There's a sniper though lurking above, gonna drop, can he get the shot? No, Waterson, I can respect it, but will end up dying.
You're gonna tell me that man wouldn't run into a spawn to get a shot on him then?
Okay, he would. Maybe not this time. But here's a demo sack in, and they are gonna get this force. Fleeble gets popped to literally 1 HP by Exile, so good play there to get the force. A bit unexpected. Maybe somebody help weren't expecting the jump in when the point was getting capped, and the rest of MCM was out. So good time to play, and they're gonna have an Uber out as a result.
The leapfrog going back in favor. Decloak out of Evil, gonna be caught out last second by American.
He's out.
Yeah, we'll get out, so his chance to go around again, but no disaster for somebody help right here, as they are exactly a minute down on the clock right
big
now.
snipe.
Yeah, Exile not able to walk up there, but Hino goes in and finds Casper, the leapfrog. There's a Frogger metaphor here, been run over by a car. As
but Spike countering! They're going for sack!
Fleeble goes down! And be able to fly it right in. Honesty sniped up in the tunnel, but it won't matter. Both Mets are dead, and that favors the team without the point. So, while the time is ticking down right now for somebody help, it should go over to MCM sooner rather than later. But Timeless finds another onto Spamfest. Hits someone else. Who is that?
Can't quite
see,
but
that was. I think it was Honesty.
If you were somebody help there, you can't let your medic get picked in that situation. When you get that miracle spy pick off fight for you have to imagine the first thing they're gonna do is sack soldier spy at you, and they just weren't ready at all. People got caught out in the center of the point, and they lost their ad. So now ad in favor of MCM. They're gonna be walking up to point here with all 9 players. Sunny and Caboose went down during the downtime, so with only 7 men up, they're probably not gonna want to contest this. And now point getting capped up by MCM goes over in their favor. Time down to even, as now walking back up is somebody help as well. They kind of want to force this Uber. Casper's at 90%. If they could get this force out, that'd be good for them.
Yeah, Hino's gonna go down in that back line.
May's going for
so far forward. Really want to Casper. Not gonna land any damage though. And it is gonna be enough, I think, to force somebody help to back off. Evil going in the back line.
Just teleport
potentially make something happen. Yeah. I don't hate that position, honestly.
Yeah. Out of the way. spot doesn't see it normally. So now with 100% Uber on both sides, we're going to be looking to fight here. And he went down, so it's 8 men for the side of MCM on defense here. We'll have to see what they're able to do. Mini Sentry goes down, Spamfest wrangling that up, as now Feeble walking across right side with Emily. They will pop Solo right now onto Demoman, maybe doing damage, and Exile gets sniped as well. Watson trades back, but with no Demoman in this Uber, there's going to be a lot more damage in favor of Help. They are headed back with a better Uber from MCM, but it's about the post here. What can they find? Wild can't find anything. He gets picked off, as does Sand.
Yeah, Evil's gonna be caught out on bats as well. Wolf managed to escape with his life, but no potential for picks right there. Hino on the Enforcer, interesting on a cough.
Enforcer tech, he's doing it to stop the wrangled minis, maybe. Because imagine, right, if an engineer's wrangling a mini off the bats, what can you really do? You can't really do much to him, so the Enforcer's there to take down the mini.
You stab him.
If you're not in the back line. Watson.
No.
He peeked that angle and there was some explosives with his name on them. Now we see MCM walking back onto the point through concrete. They don't quite have Uber yet. They're on 50% to Feeble 75, so it's a dry push. Exile again, pit class taking him down off timing, and now Emily walking forward will go down though while winning that scout v scout. And now we'll have to see who wants to do what on this point. It's 3 men down for some help here, although they have the Uber ads, so keeping May up is crucial here while not able to hit the shots. American gonna meat shot that scout down. Pyro higher health scout gonna win that one, and now Uber is up for Feeble.
Oh, they are gonna be forced to use their
Feeble
drops May, but I think she was pinned out by a sightline. That Uber is just gonna be used to run away and keep her life not too valuable. But I like what somebody help is doing there, holding on that left side of the point. Because I feel like Cascade is a map where you cannot play it, with one solid hold. You need to be rotating, you need to be adaptive, and playing forward when they have the space is key to winning this. They are gonna be giving up the point here, but kill onto Spamfest. That's all they're going to be able to muster right here, as Casper has full ad, so it is solidly in MCM's favor right now. But one good force or one good drop onto Casper, and they've got a window for this round.
Yep, time is taking down to the very end. 22 seconds left for both teams here, as advantage is in MCM's favor. If they use this Uber well, they will be taking this round, but we'll have to see what happens on this one. Now we see Help walking up. They need to start getting cap time on this point. Meanwhile, we see counter Uber coming out first for the side of MCM, trying to walk forward, get some picks. They are funneling Help into this concrete area. They're losing a ton of players. It's 7 alive for both teams, though. Is Sand gonna go down? Retest can come in here, and there's Uber. Feeble gonna have 90%. They have more people on the point right now trying to pressure down. It's Demoman and Pyro up doing a lot of work, trying to do some damage. Is Exile, but Waterson and Wild will go down, and with no scout, Emily is running havoc, trying to get some kills. TK gonna go down. That's big. Feeble going down is insane here, but there's a lot of time and a lot of players up for the side of Sunny Help. They're going to delay for their medic and get this capped up. Casper's only at 45%. They might not get Uber in time if you're MCM, so if Feeble can get here with a quick fix, there might be too much of a difference, but Evil, big kill onto May there. No demo man is going to be huge for this fight.
Yeah, gonna get his knife popped, but Timeless up on Catwalk might be able to find something big here.
Waterson's dead.
Waterson. That's a big one. Everyone else can play wide now. Sunny going in for the jump, looking to help get Bats control.
Caboose
That's
getting
they
tanked.
can't give up the cap. Sunny, you can't go in on Bats though. You gotta block the point, but it is Caboose doing everything he can. Caboose and Emily just aliboing this point. Do not forget, as they will clear them off up point right there. Casper goes down. Waterson not able to do enough, and
96% Uber at the end of that round for Casper.
And takes the first round.
Emily, a 7k by the end of that. We saw Caboose tanking up a beam, being the last bastion for Somebody Help. Caboose with that heavy beam, doing tons of work. We saw Waimio as well, jumping around on those rocks, buying so much time for Help, and that was a clutch win. Double overtime, round 1 goes in favor of Help on their own map.
Good sign for the future. Both scouts there went 11 and 5, by the way.
Yeah, both doing tons of work, and now New Mid rolling out high bomb from the soldiers on both sides. Sunny will go down, but Feeble gonna drop as well. MCM winning this mid handily already. We'll have to see if there's any sacks coming in for Help. Hino's in the backline trying to find something. They'll get Wild with a mini sentry, but that's the only kill they got. It's an 8 for 7 overall in favor of MCM, and now Point and Casper's Uber.
8 for 1, I think you mean, but yeah. As not a good mid fight coming out from Somebody Help there, despite having taken that round. But they lost the mid last time, and still managed to pull it out. I wouldn't exactly bank on that type of outcome happening again. So they may want to start something up a little bit sooner.
Spamfest has a level 2 gun on concrete, gonna instantly deny Sunny completely. So now Hino going in, misses his stab, and the gun's gonna take him down with the help of Waterson's knife. So they get TK with a headshot, but nothing else working on that sack. So now 60% for Feeble. MCM are walking forward.
Super forward.
Yeah, they're gonna pick Timeless off, and Caboose as well.
Yeah, I like that little bit of aggression, right? Don't overdo it. You know that they're just sacked. They're going to be down some people. Just, start bleeding them, right? Run out those seconds on the clock. Get another 15 seconds out of the hole.
Yeah, but now help grouping up bottom right side. May gets sniped by Waterson. It's not going to be the biggest of a deal. They have fast spawn times and the Uber is 90%, so going to be coming up on that. Hino going down, though, that one will be a bigger deal. His spawn timer is not going to be up for a bit, and he has to go to backline.
Yeah, so no Spy able to come in and try to find, that miracle pick. At least he got one last round. Found that, just absolutely med pick when you needed
Uber
it.
trade coming up here, right side.
Yeah.
Somebody help gonna pop first, counter Uber onto the heavy. Actually, it's a solo onto the heavy, which I really like, and now they're gonna get Demo Man in for the end of it. Emily, 1 HP, gonna get picked off by Wild, closing the gap onto Feeble. Now Wild, can he hit the shots? Will get body block by the team. Now Soldier in over the top, trying to find something is Etney. Unfortunately, not gonna find something yet, but Waterson gets the headshot onto Timeless. Fleeble out, both meds at about 20%. Recontest coming back in, though. We'll have to see if Etney can do anything. The med is low right now for Fleeble, low HP, but Evil, Exile, Waterson, all gonna go down. Great job with the explosive class to get the kills, but there's Fleeble going down to Etney. We saw him in that back line, and he was not defended against.
Yeah, they had to have known he was behind and just not able to stop him. Yeah, there was Sunny chasing Casper all the way out. Enough kills elsewhere that Casper must have been left unguarded, so... Still going to go. Actually, no. Uber is slightly in favor of Fleeble. I think they might have waited for her to spawn before that capped. I'm not sure.
I don't think they did, but I think the time difference was enough.
Just Evil looking to cross. Oh, decode right on Caboose. Not going to turn in time. Fleeble not able to pick up the saw.
American
either,
dies for it too.
But yeah, both gonna go down. Really aggressive decode, but it works out. And Timeless finds Casper. May finds the pick onto Evil, and he's gonna go down.
They can recontest this.
Is safe, yeah, and they kind of need to with this time disad.
Yeah, they are going to end up cleaning up this Pyro in the backline, though, first, so, take care of business, that's fine. You have the Uber ad. If you have to take care of something, do it. And now, somebody help him be able to walk forward 80%, and there's a big pick onto Waterson. No sniper means no worries.
He was so far forward there.
Yeah,
about a mile in front of the rest of his team. This level 1 on concrete. It's a bit of a nuisance, but it just doesn't have the angle to fully deny point like it might on Asheville. And Spamfa's gonna get taken out for her
Evil underneath
for her attempts, but Wild finds 2 with the revolver. That's onto both flank classes, and Fleeble drops the Etney! You have to use their
you can't drop that Uber.
Drop it is the motto. Kills onto Exile might make things a little bit easier, but it's not going to be enough, as the heals from Casper should be enough to decide this fight.
Gonna pick up Spamfest and get the teleporter down, so that's Constellation. Spawn time gets extended as well, but Casper up on 65%, whereas Fleeble's only on 10 is gonna be a big hurdle to overcome for help. They're down about a minute 20 on the clock, and Hino gonna get picked up as well, so they need to make everything work from here on out. No more mistakes.
Yeah, just got a lot of cap time from Emily right there. I really like that move. Just, they backed up a little bit.
Oh, they're gonna pick up heavy here.
Yeah, they are gonna.
Arrow.
Wild's so hurt, he needs to go down for that. You need to trade out Caboose there. They will take the point, but they just extended Caboose's own spawn. Uber comes out, May now on a long spawn as well. Fleeble running for her life, should be able to make it out.
Beat him! Beat him!
Break his legs! Break his legs! As Wild will get taken out. 20 seconds left, though. Waterson taken out. Big pick from Timeless. That opens the door for a bit of a more normal kind of push in here. Don't have to make it as desperate. Evil will get caught out. Sticks on point. Gonna hurt up American a lot, but Emily dancing around. Eddie's gonna go down.
Sand up top. Sand in the window is doing so much work, though, denying this point. No one can stand on it quite yet. Finally, they'll get some stickies to pressure that heavy back, and with 9 players up and full Uber, somebody help will take this one. A minute and a half left on the clock. They have to not make any mistakes here. Casper only on 60, so they have a bit of breathing room, but no one can bleed.
Yeah, I like these forward stickies up on bats, actually, from May a lot. Might catch someone trying to walk out because they're not super visible if you're not looking for them. They cannot let Etney get something just, undeserved. And as I say that, it's not Etney, but Waterson, as people peeks out too far, gets taken out by the sniper. They are going to find some kills to even it out, but if Casper doesn't go down, I don't know if it's going to matter.
You gotta watch Hino here. He actually gets spotted out by the scout, so not gonna be able to find a drop just in. Early Uber for MCM. They're just trying to get on point and get some kills. Not a lot of players on point right now, though. They've spread out quite well. The only casualties are Wymeo and Caboose. Waterson goes down to Sunny in the backline, and Sunny is being a threat. Sam gonna get one. May as well picks up Wild, so they are gonna get some kills, but not enough. They can't get to the point. And off of the back of 2 drops, MCM are able to take that round with 42 seconds left for their opposition. So they get the round, but that's sloppy for both sides.
Yeah, Fleeble's got 3 drops in 2 rounds, and that's not in the position you ironically still has higher kills per minute checking the logs as they get uploaded than Casper does, but you just absolutely need those Ubers to be coming in there, and they're not. 2 more Ubers in that round, and they take
That's
that
the
round.
difference maker, right? Like, they lose the round because of that. So now new mid. We saw MCM take both mids. We'll have to see they're playing aggressive again onto the backline. The Soldier Bomb is doing so much work from Etney every time. While an Evil will go down, but Feeble again gets picked up by Etney and gets Emily as well. So Etney is winning these mid fights off the rip every round. They just don't know how to deal with the Soldier going over their head.
It's the give up mid, build a level 1, and just have even Uber approach here.
You have to imagine, right?
They're losing Fleeble just instantly.
Yeah, you have to imagine, at this point, would Help be better off just not coming to mid and building Uber and spawn and then coming with Uber? I feel like maybe, but either way, now a full advantage going to be in favor of Casper. MCM get the point again. Same as the first 2 rounds. Will Help be able to come back this time, though?
For the submarine!
Oh no,
And
Hino gets the
Casper
drop!
there. Hino finds the pick right there. Fleeble doesn't have Uber, but she may not need it when the enemy man gets backstabbed. The defense still going in favor of MCM for now. Speaking slowly, because sometimes these things change at a
Yeah, but only 4 up for MCM.
But yeah,
their
only
spawns
4
are
up.
long.
They will lose this eventually, or at least they should, but that time is not now. Is Edney just going to waddle up into house?
Yeah, there's no one quite for it. He does get spotted out by Sunny, though. He shouldn't get out here alive. And yeah, he will crater. Emily getting that last chip shot to take him low enough. So now, with Sunny helping, having point control, and Uber at 1 HP right now on Exile, and there's Emily killing him. But in the backline, we see damage. Caboose going down. American as well. Evil will be traded by a mini sentry. Fleeble is still alive, though, and Casper went down. So the MCM getting a bit ahead of themselves, and they lost a med because of it.
Timeless just finding Casper out a little bit too far forward there. Cap will go over. Only a minute, off the clock for MCM. Full ad here. So these times should at least equalize once MCM starts going to use in. Fleeble just has to not drop here.
Yeah, we see somebody help. They're playing forward on the left rock.
Here comes
okay, you can't! You can't! Okay, they get the force, but I'm not about to see Evil run up through main and 3-shot I meant to drop. Evil was 1 revolver shot away from the most criminal play I've ever seen a spy perform.
Did he just walk up slowly? And
I would have lost my mind if you dropped to that. If I could do that back in my days of playing Invite, I'd have been best spy in the game. I'm just saying, but...
And I'll tell you what, if it's Fleeble's right there to call, I'm not popping to this bullshit.
Yeah.
You are not letting him get that off on me. Like, you can place blame on her for some of the previous drops, not that one.
Yeah.
Granted,
but Hino's gotten 2 drops this round, so Hino's doing the big work for some help right now, and they're going to be able to defend this point. Sack is going to come in just a second, but Etney gets denied in the tunnel. Great foresight by Emily there. Exile gets picked out of the sky by Wymeo. Much cleaner from Somni help, although Hino is popping off.
You remember the words of a certain sage admiral who said that whichever med chain deaths would have really big implications on the team.
Yeah.
And it was Fleeble last round, and it's Casper this round. And you can see how that's, resulting in the time.
Yeah, and now minute advantage in favor of help. They're 50% Uber as well, so we'll have to see what MCM can do here if they want to try to go for a force. May, though, gets sniped by Waterson. That's a pretty big one. And now, slowly going over the top, trying to pick off Wymeo in the tunnel. They are going to lose that engineer, although Waterson is down. Now, aggressive Uber being used by help to just clean up all the players forward on the point. It's not going to find the medic, but if they can get their med out alive, it's at least fine.
That was such a fear pop right there by Fleeble.
Fleeble's one.
She is so hurt right there. Likely gonna make it. No! The air debt from the Iron Bomber. Even if the reflex would have needed to reflect
earlier,
save the med, but with the way that those Iron Bombers air dead, it would have been really hard for American to do that regardless. Will end up losing her life force, but a minute advantage right here. And Casper does have to imagine Hino can't pull out the med drop hat trick.
Okay, he's right here. Waterson goes down early, though. That's not good. It's just losing SVS, so Timeless, big opener for help to work with. They need to get this force out of Casper, though. So Spamfest Mini gonna drop, and now players are walking out onto the point.
Saw him, but I don't think he got his knife melted.
Good play there by May and Emily to combine onto Sand. Forward Heavy goes down. Not looking good for the defense. Will have to back up and give some space. Caboose will get traded, and there's the Uber use out of under, actually. So they're going to pick off American as well. Fleeble, though, gets collapsed on by Evil in the back line. The Uber in combination for the Spy will get that med pick. Amazing play by MCM there to keep themselves in the driver's seat.
Yeah, that was exactly the type of defense they needed to help even this round out. May going to be a late spawn as well. No deaths either is the big thing. Normally in those cases you can be like, okay, well at least we got 2 of them, let's just spawn up and headbutt them here, but no kills to work off of whatsoever. They are starting with nothing, as they have to just go in off of concrete. Evil gonna watch as Americans get sniped
Okay.
out. Waters and Tornado, though, you'll take that if you're somebody help here, but they need to do something about this aggression.
Yep, and Evil goes down means no pick classes for MCM. Help are able to walk up here and do their best to take this heavy off the rock. A lot of damage going forward onto the combo trying to walk up. Emily is very low. Jumping around and Sand will track her perfectly. Gets that scout kill. Timeless though, he has the SPS advantage. He's going to pick off two. TK and Sand going down. Hino found Etney in the back as well. So now with those pick class plays, Somebody Help are able to take point here. And without their heavy pyro, they can't Uber. They're going to go with Demo Man only. It's a demo solo with this Uber. Sunny goes down on the side. Yeah, Feeble 95 Help are going to be able to get here and use on the point.
Coming right back in is May jumping forward. Casper getting chased out. Good serve.
Oh, great play.
But you can't outrun a scout like that. Will eventually get caught out. I appreciate the effort, but it is not enough right there as 20 seconds left for both sides right now, but in favor of Somebody Help. Uber's likely not going to be an issue of this overtime fight. So Casper may be coming up on a quick fix once he spawns. Gonna have to see.
Yep, we gotta watch the pick classes. Snipers are prepped here to get some kills.
They need cap time though. It's so low. They have a little bit. In comes
Exile's dead.
Yeah, no Exile right there. Eddie not able to find anything on the bomb. They are walking forward right here, and Somebody Help can give up the capture. They will flip the spawn timers, but Cleveland just absolutely botted by Wild.
Caboose is in the top, and Hito's in the back. They're trying to find kills. TK, he gets taken down. It's about collapsing on the point. Spawners are in favor of Somebody Help here. They're getting closer. There's not very good health, but there is a medic up for MCM. Right now, Sand is everything, full overkill heavy, and they're able to deny. That's 2-1 in favor of MCM. That one went to double overtime. 2 rounds go to double overtime, but MCM take the advantage here going into the half.
You know, I rang for an Imposters Pug Scrim last night, and our good friend Asher was there. And he must have taught Wild something about feed theory, because that last fight, Wild just ran in through 7 people and just 2-shot Fleeble. And you can't let that happen. Like, they were down people. There weren't any distractions. They were just looking at him. I don't know if they forgot to hit M1 or just missed their shots, but you lose your med there, and that causes them to lose the round. So, MCM pulling ahead 2-1 here on what is Somebody Help's map, but
hey, first map.
Both of these teams have a lot to work on.
Yeah, and this is mirroring the first half where we saw the first map rather, where Somebody Help took the 2-1 on MCM's map pick. So by that logic, Somebody Help are going to come in 3-0 here. So
true.
All right. Besides that, though,
be here till 1 a.m.
That last fight should have gone in favor of Somebody Help because they forced the Uber out. They kept numbers even, and they have spawn advantage. So you think in post... They actually had numbers I think, for a bit, because they had so many kills in the back lines.
They caught Exile right in the beginning.
Yeah, they got Demo Man at the start, so that should have been a win for Somebody Help. But like you said, while making the big play to pick off the enemy medic, and whenever the fight slow plays, the team that has heals is just going to win that out. So Casper going to keep his life, heal his team up, get that heavy scout on the point, and MCM win off it. So yeah, that heal difference making the difference in the end. And you see logs on your screen. Both demo men beneath 500, between 450 and 500 DPM, doing a lot of work. Wild though, 27 and 13 with nearly 400 DPM. He's MVP of that half for sure.
Yeah, and I mean he's got the ability to just walk in and snap his fingers and Thanos snap Fleeble out of overtime fights apparently because we just don't shoot players that get on our med here. We saw it first with Fleeble with Evil on that T-Cloak on point. We see it again with Wild like that. The protection of Fleeble is becoming an issue.
Yeah, and someone has to do it. Like, it's no one player's fault. Sometimes, a mini sentry could be built. Someone needs to be looking at the sky. Heavy does whatever. It's just, you need your medic to die less. And to be fair, Casper has 8 deaths to 11, and I believe both meds have, 2 to 3 drops. So, it's a rough game for both meds, but in the end, the 3 deaths does make a difference when the games and the rounds are this close. So that needs to change for Somebody Help. They need to keep Fleeble alive and hopefully not have to force every time a soldier goes in their face.
I mean, the thing is, though, is that Casper's drops are all coming from a spy, which, yes, could have been caught out, right? But ultimately, it's a moment's lapse of people not looking behind them. Fleeble's getting run down from the front, and it's not the first time that it's happening. It's happening on Asheville, too. It needs to... people just need to get shot at.
Yeah, and Etney, by the way, amazing half. It doesn't reflect that much because he's, 300 DPM, 20 and 18. That's about 20 and 20. Top Death Gun Soldier, that's pretty normal. But he's won every mid by himself, just jumping forward onto enemy bats and just shooting rockets down at the shutter gate. And Help have no idea how to deal with it. They just take 400 damage from Etney every mid, and they can't push forward. So we'll have to see if there's any counterplay coming in for Help for that, if they've identified that as an issue. Because remember, Help have lost 3 mids, and they've won a round and gone double overtime on another. If mids change, they're looking decent.
Yeah, and I mean, they probably take that second round too if Fleeble doesn't drop. Granted, Casper drop twice and still won a round, so maybe that's that cushion we were talking about. Caboose was just pre-firing the tunnel right there.
Okay, let's see. Etney's over the top.
Etney still gets through. Then it just get down. Fleeble's gone already, just instantly deleted. But there are some frags back here, though. If they can maybe get some damage,
Casper gets sniped.
like it. But Timeless, yeah, finds Casper. Big pick there to even out. This is now, you know, the best mid we've seen from somebody help at this point.
At least they're not full Uber death side, right? But the problem is you still have to contest point with no Uber against like a high ground team. Okay, Etney won that mid again, by the way, by jumping over. The entirety of Help looked up at him. They couldn't kill him, and then Fleeble backed up into a sticky bomb because she was too busy looking at the soldier, right? So somebody Help have no idea how to deal with the soldier going above their head early. It's lost them every mid so far.
Caboose even rolled out concrete and was pre-firing the tunnel. Said, you know what? He's not coming. Looked away everyone like that. And then he goes in again.
Yeah, this time
right onto bats.
There's not presence underneath them, but we see May gets picked off by Sand in this upper area. Now American gets left out. Will get back to the beam. Emily as well, but Etney's in behind. What can he find? Tries to get some rockets down. Will go down. Doesn't find a kill that time. So a win for somebody Help there. Fleeble's built Uber a lot faster than Casper actually. And they're gonna have.
Yeah, there was a bit of a delay in the deaths as well that I think is worth
that's
noting
20%.
here, but
that's a lot.
Yeah, Honesty is gonna get arrowed up in the tunnel actually before he forced back a little bit with more passive angle, forced out as well with the sniper coming in, and they're just gonna bully the point here as Casper doesn't have yet.
Yep, they're going to walk forward. They get a pipe onto Evil, so that spy is not going to be an issue. Now Uber out here from MCM first, gets counter-popped into, and Etney goes down as well on his bomb, while dead to Emily in this Uber exchange. So now advantage in favor of Help. There's a level 1 being wrangled here, but point presence firmly in control of somebody Help. They're spamming stickies down onto the Dome Man. They are doing some damage, not to back out, but May goes down to Waterson. That's a big opener.
The next sign of death. What we call those as, yeah, no demo man means that this walk-in from concrete is going to be so much more free than normally would be. Waterson following up on Timeless as well means that there's no area denial just coming out. Evil decloaking in onto Fleeble means that they're just going to chase him out, keep Fleeble alive, and seed the point over. Not even able to equalize the time there for somebody Help, as MCM is now recapped and is dipping under 2 minutes.
I hope Dolphin had the cam on Sand there, because Sand hit the 5,000 DPI flick onto Spy coming on him from behind, and it was pretty funny. But either way, now both meds at 80%, 30-second advantage right now for the side of MCM. They're looking to keep control of the point, and they get a pick onto Sunny as well. Evil is in the backline calling things out, seeing what he can find. Will not lose his life, although he is low HP. So now both meds on Uber. We'll have to see where Sunny Help decides to take this. Looks like it's Concrete.
Yeah, and they do have, not going to lose though, and it gets Emily caught out. May going to drop down here. Uber coming out now. Solo so far onto Honesty. Flash brought in onto Wild, as they're going to just have no ground. Going to be forced to back up. Losing your scout like that hurts. Got to be more decisive on those pushes, but Wild and...
That's Speed Theory.
Yeah, that is Wild running for something right there. He worked in the last round. So maybe try for it again. Sunny's gonna go down, but no Timeless hurts.
A lot of damage onto the combo from MCM here. All the players are half HP, and now they're gonna get walked back here. Point control in favor of somebody Help. They're trying to get some damage, anything they can find. Wymeo May will both go down, although Caboose is doing damage, and there's Hino in the backline, gets a kill. Exile and Emily shoots down Casper. That's a big one, getting that medic pick. So now somebody Help gonna be able to capture up. So it's just Spam Fest Wrangle level 2 here, and that's big. They're gonna have any bomb forward. Good reflect out, gonna be able to deny this soldier, and Gun gonna get relocated. Cap comes up for somebody Help, and they have full Uber ad.
Are you waiting for Sunny and Emily? They're
they extended both of them.
Yeah, so they could have at least, you know, done that a few seconds earlier. It seemed a little bit miscommunication, but Sunny should be up. Emily, though, yeah, gonna be the longer spawn there. And won't be up in time
is so aggressive in tunnel. They don't know he's there. If anyone peeks this, they're gonna go down to him for sure. Now it gets shown that they're there. Wymeo gonna take down Exile with the Wrangler as Caboose and Timeless both go down. Aggressive Uber now trying to find anything would be good for the side of Help. They're gonna get Waterson, but not gonna be able to find the medic. They get Spy as well. It's all about May now.
From lower sniffed out though, and yeah, big play by Sunny there to get Waterson killed. And yeah, there goes Etney.
That's how you deny the soldier.
Exactly. Memphis is level 3
yeah,
up
it's
on
level 3 now.
That we saw before, but it doesn't do as much as it might. All it does is stop the soldier from going over, which, I mean, one way to stop it, right? But it doesn't actually do anything to help them with this push.
Yeah, Kino was looking to stop it, but he got his knife melted, so he had to retreat. And Waterson opening things up, take onto Timeless. That's big. Now they're going to walk forward with this Uber, gets popped onto the opposition, and Fleeble is left defenseless in the face of While. He doubles up onto American. Sunny and Wino are going to go down as well, and Sand cleaning things up onto the combo. That is a flawless Uber charge from the side of MCM. Actually, they didn't even Uber.
Yeah, they just ran. They just walked at him.
Yeah, they just walked at him. They get the gun, so that's something.
Yeah, so that does open up the sacks, right? Which is pretty important because you've seen how much these soldiers jumping onto bats can do, and Etney's out, not able to. Got Fleeble really low though, so you know maybe one more rocket can happen. Evil going for the decloak. Timeless passes the headphone check, but still goes down. The Lead Train J is enough damage
this
right
Uber
there.
on
Fleeble
point now from the side of MCM. They're trying to get whatever kills they can. They do have a lot, and they're going to be able to deny this point. Only 3 up for the side of Help. Not able to deny anymore. They lose everyone, and this is going to be round 3 going in point 3 for MCM. They are on match point.
Yeah, gonna need to see the 3 rounds in a row that MCM pulled off in Asheville. Now, from somebody Help if they want to keep going here and make it to Vigil, but...
Dolphin, camera on Etney. We need to see this mid. Something has to change here, right? Like, if he's able to bomb over the top, get 400 damage and distract again, then there's just no answer.
He's going through tunnel, which is what he's done every mid.
Yeah, every
He's
mid.
Gonna just jump right here. Yep, go right in onto bat. Damage onto Rymeo, takes the small pack. Yeah, is behind. Emily chasing him
he
out.
gets chased down.
Gets the kill.
Yeah, he kills Emily, so he's in behind. On the other side, though, a lot of kills going in favor of somebody Help. They get Sand, TK, and Evil, so both teams losing a lot of players. Bombing from Exile, yeah. Tries to force it, not going to find anything there. And Eddie, he's still alive and behind, but he didn't get all the frags this time. He's camping a teleporter. Tries to camp Emily, but it's a scout, so not going to find that kill.
Yeah,
this is the first time. This is the first time Etney doesn't get 500 damage on the mid, and look at that! It's the first mid that helped win. Can you believe it?
Spamfest has glow stickers and level 1 just types come under.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. I hope someone gets crit by Spamfest and this underneath. Meanwhile, American gets picked off. Waterson does hit a nice headshot though when ESPS as Uber trades out onto the point right now. Both teams going to be on top of it, but jumping back is Exile. Big surf from Casper, going to be able to get him backwards into the area.
Comes in with the glow stick, lights up Fleeble enough that Honesty's able to chip her out. Casper gets traded out in the backline though, as does Spamfest. So no medics right there for either team. And the frags are all rolling in right now for somebody Help. Fleeble the only one dead so far. Weil and Etney gonna be next, and they will manage to continue holding this as they've now got a minute off the clock.
Yep, Fleeble gonna spawn up and be able to take this teleporter in a bit. It is a level 1, so it's charging, and with that, he's not actually charging on anyone, so Casper gonna be at about a 25% advantage because the med spent about 8 seconds before starts charging Uber. So now with the ad, we see MCM walking forward. They have Sniper ad as well. Waterson opening things up onto Timeless, so let's see what they can do. Emily winning the Scout D-Scout, but Casper goes down as well. Kino dying, but so is Fleeble. Both of heads on respawn timers now, and now there's a heavy up top. Doing a lot of work is Sand, taking down Caboose. Spamfest with that revenge shooter, gonna take down American, and everyone is dying on both sides.
Emily saw the gun was sapped and ran in on it, but TK
Homewrecker,
is running the Homewrecker on top.
Yeah, you never see the Homewrecker because Pyros love their the power jack too much, but you know when your engineer's running level 3, you might as well.
I mean, you'll see it sometimes on payload defense, right? You know, on like an upward first
but on
or something.
Koth?
Yeah, I can't blame someone for thinking that a sapped gun is gonna get home wrecked immediately and put back online. But you know, somebody Help though still has a large time lead, gonna be just over a minute right now. But the sniper is in favor of somebody Help right there. They can now walk up a little bit more easily. Evil running around in the back line, but May caught out going to be a really big pick and should stall this push.
Yep, Evil though getting put on a 15-second respawn timer, so it's gonna be a while before he gets back into the action. Now both meds 95% Uber coming up on it. We'll have to see what happens. Caboose is going forward with the fist, but taking up too much damage. Will end up getting out because of that damage reduction, and now it's gonna be all 9 players up for both sides. And you're looking to push in with these Ubers.
Yeah, coming in off of concrete. Pyro coming in on this a lot further than you think. Lots of flashes from somebody Help. So
Homewrecker again.
Better Uber Homewrecker again. Yeah, Hino's gonna go down for that. That gun should not be the focus, but Exile focusing on the combo lands pipe after pipe. gonna help give numbers, and Watterson wins the SBS onto Timeless. Bomb coming in from
Oh,
Sunny.
Sunny misses the rockets. Not
Yeah,
able to
we'll go
find
down.
that
Watterson
sniper.
goes down to a sticky though, but Fleeble taken out from Honesty. Not sure where that was. I think he was in lower. Yeah, the submarine heavy strikes again
still there.
as Caboose will go down.
The combination of the forward hold plus the sniper plus the gun is just, it feels like it's too much for somebody help to decide on a focus. They don't know what they should actually be trying to get kills on. Like, yeah, the gun is important when you have the point, but you got to get them off the point first. So now 75% for Casper, only 25 for Fleeble. Big ad for MCM here as they take into the time lead as well. Yeah, the gun gets relocated onto the bat. It's easier to target, but it also sees more now. So now it's a bigger threat for help to take care of. They're going to get the kill onto Evil at least, but they're going to lose Caboose in return. And things aren't looking good for them. They're at 50% disad. It's going to be 30 seconds left for MCM before help can get out here.
Honestly, was caught out in lower by Emily. The submarine heavy has been sunk. But yeah, again, that really good job by MCM to just flip the time lead there. It looked like somebody help was really kind of rolling this round.
Look at the gun now.
2 minutes consecutively.
It's forward being wrangled onto the concrete, and that's where help needs to come. This is some big brain plays from Spamfest. This is going to redirect the entire help push, although Timeless will get a big opener onto Watterson. The gun needs to get focused down. Uber gets popped off, and the gun is doing damage in the backline. Finally, Uber will die, as will Exile, though. A Demoman advantage for help. They're trying to get kills on the point, but Timeless and American both going to drop. The Uber Scout is doing tons of work while trying to get some cleanup, and there's Spamfest with the glow stick in the backline. Taking on the Demoman. TK gets a reflect kill onto Sunny as well, and now the kill's going over to MCM. They get the med pick. Waimea will get 2, and return
big
kills.
kill. Gonna find 2, and this mini from Waimea keeps picking up frags. And somebody help looking like they will be able to extend this round.
Watterson is still overwatching this point, though. And we'll try to see what kills they can get.
Onto Emily to help take her down, put her onto that long spawn since they just capped. But a minute left here. There is slight ad on the side of Fleeble, so one good defense is really all it takes here.
Yep, again, though, no mistakes out from help. One mistake ends their season right this moment, so now they try to get some damage.
Leland, but it sends them into the low losers bracket.
Yeah.
At the very least, Etney in over the top. May already dead. Etney escapes in the tunnel. Watterson taken out means they can't play wide
Casper's
here.
dead.
But yeah, tons of kills on both sides. Casper, but there's still numbers on MCM's side, I think. Even if they don't have heals, it's going to be difficult to push in, though, and they have time to wait.
What is Fleeble doing?
Respawn.
Fleeble
getting chased out by Wild.
He can't hit the shot!
Oh, Fleeble manages to barely stay alive right there. She's on 88, 89 now, but in the sightline for a second. Watterson not landing the shot.
100% Uber now. Watterson gonna die. So will Evil. May Sunny drop, though. They need to get this Uber on the point. It's 15 seconds left, and they're gonna pop. They clean up sand.
Flash Caboose!
Yeah, Caboose is 1 HP on the point. Looks like he will be safe for now. Finally gets a flash. Level 1 on the left side. Caboose getting healed up. Takes the flank angle. Gonna take down this Pyro. And that flash onto Caboose will secure things. Level 1. Spawners flooding in for MCM. Trying to get whatever spawn they can. A capture wins this round. They have to stop it. They can't stop it. That's gonna be MCM taking the round. Going up 4-1. Taking this map and winning this one and going on to the upper bracket finals.
I really need to thank Etney for taking out the trumpet taunt, the wah, 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 because Help should have had that last fight won. Fleeble just didn't walk onto point to block it. Exile got so much free cap time because people just not capping on it. And it's something I've harped on in the past. It's something I saw somebody help doing a little bit on Asheville of just, I don't need to get on the point. Someone else can get on the point. And like, yeah, Fleeble should be the one to do it, but they had 3 people around there and just no one's sitting on point. They're all kind of hovering around it. Exile got a third of the cap time there in the middle of the fight just because no one was stopping him.
Yeah, I think the problem is the confusion just takes over at that stage of the round for somebody help. We saw, even though Exile was the only one on the point, Spamfest had a level 1 Wrangle on the left side that was doing a ton of work. There was a Pyro right side getting a ton of pressure and doing a work, getting picked off. But yeah, that will be the 2-0 overall in favor of MCM. They'll be moving on to our upper bracket finals. Meanwhile, somebody help go down to lower bracket finals. We don't quite have the results of the other match just yet. I would say Wishman would probably win that, but either way, we're gonna have to transition fairly quickly here because we have a 6s match going on. So, Alto, any closing remarks?
Real quick, it was a 2-0, I believe.
For Wish Mode?
For Wish Mode.
Yeah,
at least as far as I don't know the round scores, but so we will be catching you guys with them versus MCM next week. But yeah, I'd love to do some more post-game analysis, but you know, great plays by somebody help, but just weren't consistent enough to take down MCM. And you know, that's why they'll be fighting against Yee for that bronze, in order to, you know, at least guarantee third. but we will be throwing it over 2 6s right now, as I think Space Ghost and Jarrett are waiting in the other channel. So we'll take a small break, but don't go anywhere, since we've got more hot action coming up for you guys.